Hello, Leo. This is Capricorntigress, or Adrian Igo, or Adrian Obi, Capricorntigress of Astrology. A look inside, and I'm always confused about my name. At this point, it's so confusing. I'm going to apologize to you, Leos, ahead of time. For some crazy reason, I meant to do Leo earlier, but it is now actually the 1st of February. I'm really behind. I completely apologize for how late I am with this. As you can tell, my voice is a little rough right now. And that's because I didn't go to sleep. I haven't gone to sleep. I don't even know what I've been doing. I know I've been doing something. I've uploaded a couple of things, and I know I made Libra's video. I uploaded a reading I did. I posted on Facebook. Who knows? It's one of those days, and I'm going to look first before we do anything to see where the planets are right now and why I am feeling so unbelievably affected today. I didn't even go to sleep. I just could not sleep. And then I did something which I don't know if it's something that some of you Leos might be doing. Yeah. I just looked down. Yeah. We'll talk about that. Well, the moon is on my sun. The moon is on my sun. I am emotional. And it's in my 12th house. It's not quite in my first yet. So I went, and Mercury is in Aquarius, and that is my first house, but it's on my Saturn. So I might be coming off a little heavy. I want to apologize to anyone who knows me, by the way. Over the last, few days or last week or so, as I've been making these, my voice has been a little bit rougher and heavier, and I've been just a little bit more melancholy than normal. And I think it has to do with the fact that the Sun and Mercury have been sitting on my natal Saturn, and Saturn is sitting on my Sun, on my Sun, in fact, right this very moment. And so I'm feeling that heaviness. I feel heavy, and I do fear that my conversation might get a little heavier or deep or wherever it goes. I'm going to let it go there. But, yeah, heavy. Yeah. I figure I'm just going to get whatever information I need to get, and we'll take it from there. Last night when I was doing Libra, I started seeing flashes of light before my eyes. It was really strange and really kind of frightening. So, yeah. Got my magic amethyst here, and I'm just trying to get my everything together. I probably should have did a hypnosis before I did this, or meditation. You know what I might do? Hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I have it real low. Yeah. Just something where I can hear it, maybe. Just some subliminal something in the background to help my mind. Okay, you guys, because I want to give you something good. I don't want to just sit here and ramble. I want to give you something good from what I've got here. And I am kind of taking a look here, and I'm getting a vibe on your chart. For some reason I felt like I talked to you guys before, but I guess I haven't. I will talk to you guys about some things now, because for some reason I've been concentrating a lot on the 12th house this month, and I'm going to do the same for you Leos. You guys have the North Node in Cancer that's transiting your solar 12th house, and the 12th house is this house of self-undoing, and I've been saying that for a lot of people, but I think in your case, with it being the North Node, it's telling us that it's really what you should be concentrating on. It really is the lesson that you are supposed to learn and what you're supposed to do. So I would, if I were you, I would take some time to get to know that 12th house. And you've got Cancer in that 12th house area. I'm thinking that it would make you, or it would have some compassionate in a deep subconscious area. What I fear is that some of the compassionate nature would be buried in the 12th house area, and that's not good if it's, you know, subjective, you know. So but yeah, Cancer rules all types of sweet, kind, nurturing things. It really is the sign that rules the mother. So think of a sweet, kind mother. That's Cancer. That's what it represents, the whole feminine mother, moon, you know, breastfeed the children with the breast, that whole thing. When I see Cancer in the 12th house, the 12th house does rule your, like, grandmother's side of the family. It just, I think family, North Node. Now, but that's like I said, your grandmother's side of the family, like extended family. But also dealing with deep, hidden motivations and things like that. So things that you may not be consciously aware of, but if you keep a journal or if you're really keeping an eye on it, you may pick up that there are certain behaviors or certain tendencies that are occurring, and they're kind of like tics. They're psychological. That's 12th house. 12th house is the house of, like, those psychological tics that come out because they're deeply hidden there. Now, one of the things I'm really concerned about, and I'm just going to throw it out on the line, Cancers love to drink. They do. A lot of Cancers drink, okay? They're natural. They're a water sign. And the 12th house is a watery house because it's the natural house of Pisces. With Cancer there in the North Node sitting there for such a long time, I wouldn't be surprised if you might develop some issues with alcohol or drinking or drugs or pills or any of those get high type of things. Because the 12th house is the house of get high. So that's why I always talk about it. Because, I mean, most people don't talk about it, but hey, that's what that house stands for. When I see a lot of 12th house emphasis, I know I'm dealing with a druggie or a drunk. Or a sex addict. Or a cheater. Now, not every planet in the 12th house indicates these things, but if I see a preponderance, like stelliums, sometimes I married a guy with a 12th house stellium. Because I thought it could be caring and compassionate. That's what I thought. But if the wrong signs are there and it leads to ultimate stubbornness, then that could be a problem. In this case, it's Cancer. I'm thinking whatever you're getting out of that 12th house is going to be positive. And I just had this, oh, was that me that made that sound? Let me drink something. That's scary. I don't know where that came from. That was eerie. Wow. Well, I was just having this thought. Cancer rules the emotions. But it also rules going really deep inside of the emotional nature. Like the capacity to give, the capacity to nurture, the capacity to love. All of those are shown there. And with the North Node being there, it's like you're being told to do those things, but it's the 12th house. So maybe it's saying, yeah, love, yeah, give, yeah, nurture, yeah, protect and honor and all those things, but don't give yourself away. Like, it's hiding almost like that most compassionate nature in the 12th house. Because whenever anything's in the 12th house, and maybe this is why I think of it the way I do. when a planet is in the 12th house, just imagine, okay, I almost feel like when I draw a chart, I feel like I'll draw a chart and all of the houses are empty or blank, or they might be like a white color, but the 12th house is going to be blacked out. I'm blacking out the 12th house because anything in that 12th house gets blacked out. And what do you mean blacked out? It's like it doesn't exist. Or if it does, it's operating from a deeply defective place. And when I say blacked out, I mean truly blacked out. Because I saw my drunken husband black out many a day. That's very 12th house. Now, I don't think the North Node wants you to do the blackout, but I do think it wants you to learn the lessons of the 12th house. And I think that the escapism, like drugs and drinking and sex and all, that's escapism. That's the outlet that's available to those who don't want to take the higher consciousness. They'd rather take the low road and the easy way out, which is to drug and drink. Or maybe it's just getting them through the day. I've got my son at the 12th. In the 12th, it's on the 1st, but it's at the 12th. And I'm very honest about the fact that I started with the medical marijuana. And I don't drink, really. And I don't do anything else. I don't pop pills or have illicit sex. So, but I do have that. And so I don't hide it. See, that's the sun on the 1st house. But it's still in the 12th. So it's not something that you would walk around a big sign on like, hey, I do medical marijuana. But that's the 12th house. There's always some hidden thing, some hidden skeleton, some hidden agenda even that's in that 12th house. I'm trying to remember. There was this story that was told about the 12th house, and I'm trying to remember who that was. That was Debbie Kempton Smith or Linda Goodman. It might have been another astrologer, but I think it was one of them. And they were it was talking about how the 12th house, they likened, and it could have been someone else, but they likened the 12th house to an episode of The Twilight Zone. And it was the episode where it was like, to serve man. And this guy goes and gets on this spaceship thinking that these visiting aliens were going to serve man and worship him and love him and bow to him. And he gets on the spaceship and he finds out that to serve man was to serve him in a dish. Yeah, that's the kind of effed up things that happen in the 12th house. So be cautious. I would say with the North Node there, be cautious of getting over emotional. Yeah, that's what this message is. Be careful of being over emotional, losing your grip, your emotion, your stability, your equilibrium, because see, this house can also lead to people's downfall. It can lead to people ending up in hospitals and mental institutions and prisons and all types of controlled areas because of emotional issues or emotional poor behavioral patterns due to emotional issues. And so this is teaching you, and is a very valuable lesson, to get a grip on your deeply emotional nature and what's hidden on the deep inside. Because sometimes we don't even want to face what's in the 12th house. It's so deeply hidden and blackened out. I always call it the basement. Because, when it's all dark and musty and dingy, no one wants to go down the basement. And that's the 12th house. So when planets are there, or anything is there, it's like that place where no one wants to go because it's creepy and it's got cobwebs on it. That's where your North Node is. Where transiting North Node is right now. So, wow. Whatever deep gunk you need to clean out, this is, with it being emotion, this would be a great time to do that. And I tell you what, this is actually supported because the natural ruler of the 12th house is Neptune. And Neptune is in your solar 8th house right now, which is Pisces. And in that house, during the month of February, it will be the sun after the after the 19th, and also Mercury is going to be in that solar 8th house. Now the 8th house is a great house to have trine to the North Node in the 12th house, because if you find that you have these fears and hidden phobias and anxieties and mental conditions and things that need help, whether it be through like your clergy or whether it be through like mental or therapy really. The good thing is that with Mercury and Neptune and the Sun in the 8th house, this would be a great month to really work some things out with reaching out to others, reaching out to a therapist or a psychologist, and clearing that gunk out. Because I think that's what this whole transit is going to be about with that North Node in that 12th house, is clearing out the gunk. And when you do, I think it's going to help move the way for a lot of stuff. A lot. Now, the other thing that, and that 8th house that I talked about, not only could that help with, if you had to see like a therapist or psychologist or deal with deeply buried hidden motivations and secrets and psychological things, but you know, it's also the house of sex and it's also the house of money. And with Mercury and the Sun and Neptune there, after the 19th, child, it's going to be on and popping in that house. I mean, it might just be that you have more people telling you their secrets, but I think it's going to be more like it's, you know, you might have more sexual prowess. After all, the Sun is the ruler, the natural planet for Leo. That's your planet. And speaking of Leo, I want to talk about that Jupiter in the 5th house. Jupiter is still in Sagittarius in your solar 5th house at 20 degrees, adding quite a bit of luck to everything you do that has to do with creativity, that has to do with love or romance, that has to do with children, your own, that has to do with gambling or risk-taking or entrepreneurship, starting your own business. Any of these things are very highly encouraged, and they're going to be lucky. That's your lucky area, especially right now. So yeah, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Yeah. Now, one of the other things that's really staring out at me, Mars is going to be going from Aries into Taurus. I think that happens on the 6th, if I'm not mistaken. But Uranus is going to be teetering right at the precipice between Aries and Taurus. I think it makes it to 29 degrees or so. But yeah, just know. But here's the thing: it's almost like Uranus is straddling your midheaven. I don't know how good that is, to have Uranus straddling your midheaven, especially since Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, which is the natural opposition to your sun. And so I'm hoping that this is going to be some divine genius, that this, you know, with Uranus sitting in the wrong place where it doesn't belong, in, you know, Taurus on the 10th house. And Mars there. So yeah, it could mean sudden unexpected things at your career, or sudden unexpected acclaim, applause, publicity. It could mean sudden and unexpected promotions, sudden unexpected new bosses, sudden expected, everything sudden and expected. You notice how I say that? Because first of all, Uranus is straddling the midheaven. Period. It's sudden and unexpected. I could even go as far as to say quick, sudden and unexpected, because Mars is also going to be there. Be cautious this month in your career sector, because Mars and Uranus are going to be there. And it could create a situation where you're creating havoc in some way, maybe because you're feeling misunderstood or something of that nature. But please be really cautious that Uranus is sitting on your midheaven, the solar one anyway. That's major, okay? Because, yeah, major. Okay, and one other thing I want to talk about. Well, a couple of things. First, I want to say something about the new moon, which is the 4th. That's in 3 days. That's going to be happening in the sign of Aquarius, which is the opposite of you guys. Now, also, the sun is going to be in Aquarius that same day. So we're going to have a sun-moon conjunction in Aquarius at 15 degrees opposed Leo in your solar 7th house of partnerships. So, I mean, it's a new moon. It can indicate a new start. It can indicate a new start. It can indicate a new possible romance. Now, well, with Jupiter, yeah, it could indicate something like that. Just be aware the sun and the moon are going to be on top of each other, so it could be a little volatile. I mean, you know, they're jockeying for position. It's going to be in the 7th house of partnership for you Leos. So, I mean, if anything, I would say be extra cautious or extra protective of your partner's feelings this day. Yeah. Because it's Aquarius, but, you know, the thing is, with Aquarius, they tend not to show feelings, right? But the moon's going to be on the sun, and I don't know if Aquarius is going to like having all that emphasis in moon quality in the 7th house. So please be aware that there could be some shakeups or problems that occur with your partner, because they're going to be under duress with that new moon on their sun. You know, especially if they are actually an Aquarius. I could see where that could get really bad fast. Now, the good thing is that you do have some good emphasis in your 6th house of work. There's Saturn there and Pluto there and Venus there through all of, or most of, February. And the thing is, with Saturn in the 6th house, that's work. That is work. Pluto in the 6th house is power at work. So you're going to be like the authority and power at work, perhaps. And you've got Venus transiting there. So it's not, even though Saturn and Pluto are very harsh planets, I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be a sweet day. You know what I mean? So, or just it's going to be okay at your work, okay? I'm getting tired. My mind is going. I'm just saying, with Venus at your work, it's pleasant. You're going to have pleasant work. And the thing is, I just would be careful about the career, because Uranus up straddling up there on that midheaven. But, oh yeah, I'm seeing pleasantness in the work. And just be aware, though, whenever you've got Venus going through the 6th house like that, it can indicate overeating, and maybe, you know, just watch things like your sugar and your salt intake, and just not eating well. I would try to eat more fruits and vegetables during this time, because Saturn is there, and Saturn is giving you the message to take care of your body, take your body seriously. You know, take responsibility for your body. And if any of you Leos are having any issues with your body, especially things like gout and stuff like that, just know it's up to you to change your diet. Because once you do that, it should really start to help. And if you think you might be in line for something like that, well, you know, start young, start early, and start, you know, your prevention program for that. Then one of my final things I want to talk about here is on the 19th of February. We're going to have a full moon full moon in Virgo, and it's at a crazy degree. It's 00.42 minutes. Not a degree quite, but minutes. And the thing is, it's going to be falling in the second house, the solar second house for you Leos. And so that's a full moon in your money house. Now, if you're going to be with a partner, if it's happening in a, you know, I would say in any situation where giving, like a partnership, like a romance or something, that might be okay. But this full moon might just mean that it might be some emphasis in your money, and that's what I'm looking at. Oh yeah, there could definitely be emphasis in your money. Definitely. And see, the crazy thing is on the other side, as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be the sun opposing it. I mean, exactly at 0.42 degrees. That's crazy. The sun's going to be opposing this moon. So the 8th house is other people's money, and the 2nd house is your money. And your moon or security is going to be on what you own, on your possessions, on your money. And you may feel that, you know, especially that day, you really don't want to rock the boat with your security issues. Yeah. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking maybe that opposition might lead to sex, but I'm not sure. I'm always got sex on the mind, I tell you. Well, you guys, oh, and don't forget Mercury is in the 8th house too, so you're going to have sex on the mind as well. I mean, the 8th house is the house of sex, and you got the sun there, Neptune there, and Mercury there, so if you're not thinking about sex, I don't know what the heck. Now, you might just be thinking about secrets and psychological things, and you could just be thinking about money, especially your partner's money, but most likely you're thinking about sex. Anyway, this has been Capricorntigress, Adrian Igo of Astrology, a look inside. And, oh, if you haven't, please stop by the website and subscribe to astrologyalookinside.com. And please like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can also find me now on Patreon, patreon.com/Capricorntigress. And I'm always on Facebook. I live on Facebook. I'm a Facebook junkie. And you can find me at facebook.com/astrologyalookinside or in our groups at facebook.com/groups/astrologyalookinside. Well, it has been a pleasure, Leo. And you're my last reading. Yay! I only have to do another reading if I choose to do so mid-month. Or if I have special messages. Oh. I may get special messages. I don't know. I'm trying to, you know, see if I got any songs or anything here. I'm all rushing through. Do I even got it in me to sing you a song? I don't know. I'm just hoping nobody goes crazy, because I was led to spend a lot of time on the North Node in the 12th house. It does oppose the 6th house, but you know, the 12th house is the house of crazy. Mental institutions and stuff. And Uranus is straddling your MC, remember? No, I'm not going to do it. Because you should be okay. I don't want to put the word on you and call you crazy, because maybe you're not, but I know Uranus is right on the MC. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll think about it. If I do, I'll do an addendum. Okay, you guys. This has been Capricorntigress, Adrian Igo with Astrology Look Inside. I'm really going this time. And before I do, I want to wish all you Leos happy Valentine's Day, happy February, and happy Valentine's Day to you all. Maybe some of that 8th house emphasis. Somebody's going to have a nice Valentine's. Have a good one, everyone. Bye. Okay, the song that I had for you Leos, and I hope I got a voice because I didn't have no sleep. It is 10 o'clock, so I can belt it out if I have to. Does that make you crazy? Does that make you crazy? Does that make you crazy? Probably. That's for that Uranus on the midheaven and the North Node in the 12th house. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Bye.